Great. Well, welcome everybody. I'm really excited about this call. So the purpose of this call is really just to go through, to basically make a plan for setting up the Give farm side of GIVpower. So like the staking, locking, APR thing. And I don't know what the best way to do it is, Sam. Do you want to go through the contracts and go through the Figma? Like I could share the Figma and you could share the contracts and we could do two share screens and go back and forth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's do a list. I will show first the contracts and let's do a list of the things that we have. I could not test them yet, so I think that most of it should be there. But if there is any inconsistency, we will detect it in this call. So we can go first through the contracts and have a list of all the things that we will need in order to connect it to Figma.
Okay.
So I will share the screen.
Chair, Monique, you guys all pretty much understand like the general concept of this part of GIVpower, the staking locking thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Did you find a chance to see my epic there?
I saw it kind of. I didn't really go through it in detail because I had to make the slides through the community call. I just woke up and making smoothie.
I tried to gather all the parts of this GIVpower and all of this impact in the dApp in the use cases, just on the use cases, and I gathered about 10 issues. Some of them had some, checkboxes in there. So I think 3 or 4 of them are in the, Give Economy tab, in the Give Economy menu, and 2 of them in the projects page, single page, view, and 3 of them, I think, in the My Account. So I think it's a good start to have a, overview of what's going on for the devs. If you want to, break it up and maybe we can start implementing all the parts in the front end for now. But it's, I don't provide any links to them, some of them, because, I think that you have to, I have to have a confirmation from you from the design side and the flow. But on the technical side, Jerry and everyone can discuss on the issues there about the services for the backend and the front end and the GraphQL, whatever.
For sure. But I think like what we're going to work on, we don't want to start building the My Account and the project single page stuff just yet because we're not exactly sure how it will look in the contracts. We want to give Sem a chance to finish that because it might then affect the front end and the design and the logic and so it's like all we're going to do for starters is only the stuff that's in the Give Economy side, like the Give Farm side. There's that one big page that explains stuff, which is easy. It's all just like front end with links. But then the staking, locking, that new card, the APRs and the pop-ups and all that stuff is like what we're going to focus on first and talk about this meeting. So we can add to the issues that you created, Monique. But yeah, we'll focus on those ones first. And then the other ones we'll just leave open until we're ready to touch them after the contracts.
Yeah, for sure. They're just there to, make it complete. And I appreciate if you can go with that issues. For example, I bring that card for, Give Economy site. Also the staking model. And I appreciate if you can take a look and, feel free to delete, add anything.
Sounds good. Thanks, Monique. Okay, so I'll pass it to you, Stem. You can get started on the...
Yeah, we will have this contract in which it has many things behind of it, but basically what the parameters that we will need in order to set it up is an initial date, how much seconds around is, we say that it will be 14 days, right? So the duration of a round, which is going to be the token manager, which in that case it's going to be the Give token manager. where is the token the token distro, which is used now in order to send the givebags and everything. And this one I don't remember now. Why I do have it here? I think that we will see what it is.
Unipol? Unipol is the duration of the Unipol, but...
Yes, the duration of the Unipol. Thank you. So, we will have two main functions. One to lock, and it can be called by anyone who has give, and then one to unlock that will fail unless, well, the lock one is I have this amount of give and I want to lock it for X amount of rounds, and when the round has passed, there is an automatic process that is going to call all the possible unlocks that will say, okay, this address locked until now, this address can unlock now some tokens, so I will unlock them for him or her, and then this will mean that it is going to be still as GIVeth, and it will still have some GIVpower, but it is not locked anymore within the system. So these two functions, one is the one that the frontend has to take care of, and the other one is more like an automatic process that goes through it. On top of that, we have different. We have two more contracts. One is, and well, basically, it's a contract that has these functions plus the rest of the functions. And the rest of the functions, one of the things that GIVpower is an ERC20. So basically, if you have locked some tokens, your balance of GIVpower increases, and when you get unlocked, your balance decreases. This can be seen or in here or in here. I don't know now. Token manager hook. No, it's in the other one. Basically, it's I just changed a little bit the give unipool contract. I think that it was called garden unipool or something like this. I just changed it a little bit, but it's the same contract, and it is going to replace the one that it's already there. And basically it works very similar to the old contract, so it has a very good interface with the garden. It basically, I am looking for it. It basically allows you to stake and withdraw, but they are internal. Yeah, it basically it's the same that you can get, which is the reward as you are doing right now with the unipool. And it's as well a token, so this is why I was saying that you know which GIVpower do you have, and also based on the GIVpower that you have, the amount of GIVpower that you have, you will receive the rewards of the unipool based on this amount. On the other side, so we have unipool, we have another side that it's a token manager hook, that when you lock, you do not allow the GIVeth to be transferred somewhere else, and this is basically what it makes, this on transfer here, that prevents anyone from removing their GIVeth. Meanwhile, they have GIVpower or they have locked tokens. So we do not have anything from here that we might want. The only thing that it may be interesting is the current round function, but the lock and unlock, they are virtual, they are called from the GIVpower. As I was saying, the GIVpower, you still have this lock that you have to call from the front end, and the unlock it's not necessary. And in the front end you also have all the public functions that a given pool has. For example, reward per token, last time reward applicable, get timestamp, and everything. So this part here is very similar to what we have already, and the only new things are the lock and the balance represents GIVpower. You can also use this function in order to specify which is the amount that you want to add and the rounds that you want to add, and it will give you the amount of GIVpower that you will receive, if that has sense. I think that we can already go to the Figma, having this structure in the mind, and I think that we can. Most of the things that are already present can be reused, especially with the GIF unipool.
Cool. Thanks, Sam. Okay, so yeah, kind of what that looks like in the Figma. We'll just kind of like walk through the UI side of the Give farm card. You can kind of mostly ignore, like you can ignore all this stuff because, you know, we're going to change what that's like and blah, blah, blah in the Give farm. There's only going to be one Give staking card, which is going to be this one. Man, my mouse is being really like slow. There's like a range of APRs. So like the lowest APR would be like the minimum rate of rewards that people earn when they're not locking for any time, they're only staking. And then the higher APR will be if they're locking their tokens for the maximum time period, which would be 26 rounds or like one full year. Sorry,
the APR for if you lock one round is the max.
No,
all right.
0 rounds. 0 rounds is the minimum, and 26 rounds is the maximum.
I thought it's multiplied by a square of rounds, right?
Yes,
in the code it's multiplied by a square of round, but in the STEC I see divide. That's what
it's the square of rounds plus 1. So if you lock for 0, it is actually a square of 1, which is 1. It is because if you do not want to lock for 1 round, you can still have some GIVpower and some yield. You can remove it whenever you want, but you just I don't know how to tell. It is a way in which you can have a nice formula with giving GIVpower and yield to people who do not want to lock for 1 round. My question here is, how do we calculate these APRs?
I think we calculate them the way we did it. We're going to have to figure out like the amount of rewards that we're going to put into it to like figure out kind of like, what the APR range we want to be. But then I think it depends on how much people are staking and then their individual multipliers and then like that pot of rewards.
We have, as I was showing, we have a function that you can call and you get the reward per token. So it must be one of those. It may be it probably is the lesser percentage. Yeah. Because if you put 1 token, you will receive this reward. Mm-hmm. And I guess that the other APR...
So I'm sorry, we are calculating that, for the unipool, we are calculating the reward, the APR right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we have used those values, reward per token and rest, if for your information.
Yeah, the thing is that as it is the contract, it probably is completely compatible. Also, because in this case we have two APRs, probably if you use the same system, you will get the APR that is on the left and not the one that is on the right. Because if you just lock without any round, with 0 rounds, you will get 1 reward per token. And I guess that the other way around, if you lock...
What do you mean 1 reward per token? Do you mean that the reward rate will not be multiplied? You are
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get the rate directly from the contract, and this will be in that case 100%. And the 1000%, I don't know how it will be calculated, to be honest.
We use the maximum runs to lock. Always it should be 26, right? The max runs to lock is 26, regardless of the time. So, for instance, it's 20. User can lock for 26 runs. It can still lock for 26 runs 2 months later. Am I right or no? We have an end date that, for instance, 2 months later, for instance, 4 weeks later, he can lock only for 22 runs. Am I right?
I think
or no?
I think we're gonna run it for longer than a year. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe we want to make it so that, like, I don't know, maybe we run it for 5 years or something. We want GIVpower to keep going, and so it's like the max period that anyone could lock is 26 weeks, but they could still lock 26 weeks, half a year into after launches, you know?
I think that using the formula, there is a clear multiplier, which is square root of 27. Because if we are saying 26 is the maximum, I didn't understand if it's still the maximum, Lauren. What you just said is that you can lock it for longer than 26, or 26 is the maximum?
No, 26 is the maximum, but you could lock it like not on. It's like you don't only have to. You don't only have 26 rounds available at the very first round. It's like, 6 months into the launch of GIVpower, you could still lock for 26 weeks from then. It's like 26 is the max you can do, but it's like we're not only running it for a year, so it's like people can have their tokens start locking half a year into after we started for a year.
Okay. The maximum multiplier is square root of 27, and this is x5. x5.2, something like this. So I guess that it's a multiplier that you have to apply to the rewards, and it will be the difference between 1 and 5, basically.
Yeah. The design probably didn't do the calculation. It's up to us to do the calculation.
It's basically square root of 27. I think that we can continue, and we will see which is if these calculations are right or they are wrong.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, but we can continue. So anyway, that's kind of like what it looks like. And in order to, so you're earning like claimable and stream rewards, but it's like you click here to stake your Give. Then you get this modal, and this is the modal that appears like for staking Give, where you get to pick a bunch of different things. You choose like how much of your Give that you want to lock that's in your wallet. Then you choose the number of rounds to lock up to the maximum 26, and then it shows what your multiplier will be, which applies to both your APR and your GIVpower. And your GGive is the Give Gardens voting power that you get for in the Give Garden. Right now we have like the regular Give Garden staking pool, but like that's going to be replaced by this. And if your GGive is always going to be the amount of Give that you're staking, because that doesn't get affected by the multiplier. Is that good? Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
The next one.
So then this
you
is
approve.
like, you approve, and then it's like, okay, you're cool with this stuff, and then you stake and lock. And then I think we need like the confirmation, like the loading and confirmation. It doesn't show here, but we already have in the farm card. If you wanted to unstake tokens, so anyway, then you have tokens locked, and then it's kind of like to see what your tokens locked are. It's you click this bottom, this manage give, and it will show you the APR that because basically you can lock different amounts of tokens for different amounts of rounds, and they'll have different unlock dates and all this information. And so that's showing up in this modal here. So it's like you have different sets of give tokens that are locked for different rounds, earning different multipliers, like different APRs with different multipliers and different unlock dates. So wait, but this relock automatically we're going to change actually.
Yeah, and maybe some of the things here based on what we said yesterday. The things that we are saving as it is right now is like until round 3, I have this amount of give locked, and it is generating me this. Basically, this table should be like in next round I can unlock these tokens. In next round I can unlock these tokens. In next round I can unlock these tokens. So
they are sorted by the date. So the first one that can be unlocked will be the top one. The first one.
The thing is that in order for creating this table, we have to go back to the contract and see which is the information that is available.
Do we emit any event that say, okay, we have locked something? I can check the code, but they are necessary. We need appropriate events for having this data, and we should fill the subgraph to then query. All of this information, in my view, should be fetched from subgraph.
Yes, although it must be in the contract in order to grab it. If there is information that is not available, it's because there is some inconsistency between the Figma and the contracts. So basically, let me check it.
And sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Not related to the contracts, but I'm really worried about the responsiveness and the mobile view. We have lots of details in these models. I know that Moses is here and also Cherokee is here. Do you have any opinion on that?
This model on small devices, we can actually show the model, but for the mobile device, it's a new screen, not a screen. It's a full page model, full big model, like the rest of the model that we have in other part of the app, and the user can scroll horizontal and vertical to show to see all of the tables content.
And do we have the kind of responsive guidance for each project, each page?
No, not yet, but since they're all done, I think I can just start adding the responsive guides.
Thank you.
Okay, I am redoing the table. Basically, what we have in the table, the thing that we save in the contract is for each address, we have a mapping between one number and another. The first number is the round, and the second number is the amount of GIVpower that you have in this amount. There is another mapping that do not save power, it saves log tokens. So basically, for each address, we have, let's say, a list of different rounds. So round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. This will be round. And then until round 1, we will have logged, let's say, 30 GIF. And the GIVpower that it gives to me, because it was logged for 1 round, it is, let's say, 40, right?
Can I interrupt you? Sorry.
Yes.
I understand what you say. They are mixed. So, for instance, if you have like 3 rounds and 2 rounds later, like for 1 round, all of them will be mixed. And if you look at the smart contract, you won't have this information, right? You cannot understand how much each of you cannot see them separately. Am I right?
Yeah. The point is for one of the rounds, all the data aggregated.
Yeah. The point is that I saw the smart contract just now that you don't emit any event unlock and unlock, right? So we need them. If we need them, we can compile those information in the subgraph, so we will have this data. No worry about it.
Yeah.
I will say with subgraph, for instance, that for instance, 150 was locked for this round, for this duration, and the release date will be that. Something like this.
We could emit the events and have the data when it was we could do that.
I can do the calculation. I can do the calculation of the end date. Don't worry about that. Emit as much as you can, and I will review the smart contract. I mean the end of the duration, if you mean. I can calculate that and how much one. Yeah.
I would prefer in the front end to have the data aggregated in rounds, because it is how the smart contract can calculate. There is no need to know that you added more. Well, maybe it's something that you want. But the thing that is saved in the smart contract is something like this. And for round 1, you will be able to unlock 30 GIF, which have a GIVpower of 40. For round 2, you will be able to unlock 40 GIF, which have a GIVpower of 100. And each of them has their own IPR, earnings multiplier, and everything. But this is the things that you have in the smart contract, and people is every time that they are locking an event can be emitted. I don't know if it's emitted right now.
Oh, you mean that if we'll unlock one of them, for both of them will be unlocked? Am I right? Is it what you mean? If two locking has the same end round, they will be unlocked together with by one transaction.
No, I am talking about we can have a front end in which you see which is the total amount of GIF locked and total amount of GIVpower in a succinct manner, or you can have every time that you have locked and some GIF was unlocked, like it is in the Figma right now. There is these 2 ways to do that. I think that it is way more direct to go through the contract. We can just set this variable public, and the frontend can get this data, and this data has this form. You have the round, you have the give amount, you have the GIVpower. The round, the give amount, and the GIVpower. So in the Figma, it will look like a little bit different. That locked until round 3, and the give amount, the GIVpower, and everything. And because
wait, so what is the round? The round is the round it will unlock on?
Yes, we have. We can count the rounds from the time that the contract was initiated. Let's say it can be any date, and from that moment it will start counting rounds every 2 weeks, or the time that we define. And you will see, okay, it is going to be unlocked in the next 2 rounds, let's say, which is this second column in the Figma. It will be unlocked in the next 0 rounds, for example. But this counter is going to be modifying all the time. It's like if 1 week passes, maybe instead of 4 rounds, it's going to be 3 rounds. Does it have sense?
Yes, it totally makes sense, like logically, but I think like from a user perspective, I don't know. I think the unlock date is more useful, and I think we can just like we can get that.
Okay.
From that information. Do you know what I mean? Because like if it's like, okay, the rounds are ticking down and like a user has some concept of like the rounds, but everyone has a better concept of the real date, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Because also it's like the rounds might say 1 and it's actually a week and a half, or it's only 1 week. It's a little bit misleading exactly when they are unlocking.
Totally agree. So we have this column with the date in which each round is going to, let's say, finish. And we can completely avoid the round term.
Yeah.
We can say unlock date, give amount, and then the GIVpower can be translated into. I think GIVpower should be one of the columns for sure.
Okay.
And probably APR and multiplier are the other ones.
Yeah.
Rounds locked 4, maybe we can remove this.
Okay.
What?
Sure, I think that's fine.
Just a point, I just mentioned again, if two locked items have the same end round, right? They are free, for instance, I lock for 2 rounds, after 2 rounds, I lock another one for 1 round. By one transaction, both of them will be unlocked.
Both sum up into the same round. And let's say you are in the third round, you look for 2 rounds, 1 round passes and you look for 1 round. This adds up into the give that you already added before, and it also adds up into the GIVpower that you added before. And everything unlocks at the end of the round, of the second round. So this is why I am saying that it's better to have less. The maximum amount of rows that this table will have is 26, because it depends on you cannot lock for longer than 26 rounds. And for each one of them, you will have, let's say, a spot in the table.
But I have an issue, like a potential issue with that. I mean, because you couldn't show your earnings multiplier or the APR really for that set of tokens, you know, because it could be like it's like combining 2 sets you locked up for different amounts into having the 1 unlock date. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you have the GIVpower, and the GIVpower is the combination of all, right? You have different sets, but the combination of it's your GIVpower that you have until the round. Yeah, I see what you say, and that may be a problem. Maybe I am not understanding properly how the APR is calculated or the multiplier.
And Sam, you say that it should be on maximum 26, but if the round passes and you don't unlock, you can see it here.
They unlock automatically. At the end of the round, they unlock automatically and they disappear from that table.
For every user?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We're getting rid of, Mo already removed it. We're getting rid of anyway, now it's gone. Cool. There's no lock automatically because it doesn't work. But yeah, so I think we need to the APR is going to be affected by the amount of rounds that the user locks their tokens for when they lock them, not just the unlock date. So then it's like, if we kind of like aggregate these entries on the table based on the unlock date, it wouldn't work because they would have different APRs.
I think it's even easier, Lauren, because for each one of the rounds you have GIVpower that it will be unlocked, but you have allocated for each one of the rounds GIVpower, and the GIVpower can be translated to APR because it is the actual token that you are farming in the Unipool. So.
That's a bit weird now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bit weird.
So the difference, it's a little bit difficult, but it's like I only have 10 GIF, but my GIVpower for these 10 GIF, it's 100 GIF because I have been locking them for a long time or whatever, right? So the IPR for these 10 GIF, it's the one that it's based on the IPR of the 100 GIVpower. So we need to do some kind of calculation in which we are involving the GIVpower that you have for one round and the actual GIF that you have locked.
We can keep track of how much GIF actually is locked, on subgraph, and in APR calculation. For the reward rate, we use total supply and reward rate to calculate the APR right now. So instead of fetching total supply from the smart contract, we can get it from the subgraph.
That's how we should show it.
As I said, if you keep track of lock, non-lock by emitting some event, you can handle the complexity in subgraph.
And maybe the IPR is not that important to show here if we are already showing it somewhere else, because the earnings multiplier is very easy to calculate. It's basically the difference between the dividing GIF that you have, the amount of GIF and the amount of GIVpower. This is what makes the multiplier.
Yeah. I think but then also the APR is affected by the amount of GIF and the multiplier. Right?
I am not sure about the APR.
I think that's how the APR will work. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I mean, this is what I'm thinking, because it's like that's what the user does. The user is like staking and locking an amount of GIF for an amount of rounds. The multiplier applies to both their GIVpower and to their APR. So it's like, I think we can still have it shown in the table like this. Especially because we're going to have that data like from when the user locks it up.
First of all, let's come back to the APR. Sam, I'm sure that the APR can be calculated by the total power rewarded. And if you don't like anything, you will have the same APR for every one GIF. But if your APR will be multiplied if you like for random periods. And about showing the APR here, we can use that APR. Actually, that APR, of course, is the reward is divided by total power of people, and that's the minimum APR if you don't like anything. Am I right? If you don't like for any round. So it can be about the UX and UI. I don't have any comment, but about the value which is correct here, I think it would be good to have the minimum APR here and the multiplier in front of that. But we can surely agree that the APR right now is just 55. Multiplied by 9. I don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't get any idea about the UI.
I think you're right. I think that's, I don't think we have to show like minimum APR times, but that's how we can show it. We show the APR per set of tokens by using the multiplier and the minimum APR. And so it's like we calculate it that way, and then we just show the APR that you're earning for each set of tokens. Like I think it can stay as it is.
Or no, if it needs to be the minimum, so let's remove it as template. You can remove it because it's available somewhere else. It's a constant value for each row. What do you think? If you want to be the minimum value, it doesn't make sense for me to repeat it.
Yeah, maybe we could. Maybe we could put the minimum APR, the earnings multiplier, and then your actual APR for these tokens, and that would probably feel sexier to the user.
Minimum APR is available on the card,
Yeah.
So having a constant value in each row, I don't think is a good idea.
No,
if Griff were here, he would say that the APR should appear.
Griff is right
As many
here.
times. Hello, Griff.
Hello, Griff.
I was advocating.
It's funny. Lauren is not mute, but Griff is mute.
What?
I cannot hear you. Griff.
Oh,
You're
sorry,
far from mic. Yeah.
Better now, right? Sorry, I'm also working on other things, only casually listening.
I was advocating for Griff in regards of, I think that the APR is something that the users should see at any point.
Yeah.
Especially if they are looking for a long time, it is something that you want people to see, not only the earnings multiplier.
Yeah, exactly. So I think all the data that we have currently on the front end is useful, and we should kind of leave it like that. Mm-hmm. But we could change
except for the rounds logged for, it should be GIVpower.
Yeah. You really think so? 100%? Because the reason the reason the round's locked for is it's wow, I locked for this long, therefore I got this multiplier, therefore I got this APR. And then so it's encouraging the user to lock for more rounds when they see that information.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that is that we are not going to see. For example, in this case, we have 2 rows with 5 rounds, let's say. And what I was saying is that it's better. From the contract, you will have this data aggregated. If you add it twice, I don't know how to explain this. Basically, it's like you will have a maximum of 26 rows, because if you are staking until a certain row, until a certain period, it is going to be it. It is going to just aggregate all the data, all the APRs, all the multipliers.
But I think we need to
Sam, have you seen our Eastern history? If you see our Eastern history and give economy, you could see that how your stream is which number is added up to become your final stream value. So in a smart contract, all of them are a single number, but we give you a sense of control. And yeah, I understand how the numbers can. Sorry, Lauren, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, it's exactly what I was gonna say. I think even though in the contracts it's the multipliers are all be combined and the unlock dates are all combined for the sake of the user understanding oh, I locked these tokens and then I'm getting this APR and I locked it for this round. It's we need to split it up on the front end.
Okay, then we need the events. I don't know if they are already there. But if you want to see more an story, a history, right?
Yeah, something like this. Yeah.
And you didn't see the events, right?
No, I said a smart contract. You don't have any event.
It is in the Give Unipool. So a staked event will appear, and it will be the user and the amount. We can calculate from the graph. You can calculate based on the user and the amount you can calculate stuff.
Sorry, which file is it?
It is in the Unipool, yes. But I think that we can also add an extra.
It doesn't say anything about the about the runs. No.
Exactly. We need an extra event about the rounds.
Yeah, under lock and unlock.
Yeah, and this and everything else should be calculated. Okay. Then everything should be fine, I think. If you have this preference, I think that it's also nice. Is there any other other screen that we want to discuss, or this is the scope that we have until now?
Just a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know. I was just arguing with Griff about it. So it's like this is okay. Also on this thing, it's like, so you see this like breakdown that we're going to have to then track events in order to display it. Then also when the user's tokens become unlocked, like any of these like unlock dates are reached, they just get added here to the top and like the line from the table disappears. And then, so it's like their tokens become unlocked and then they're here and then they could hopefully relock their GIF. I don't know. Is that going to be an easy thing to do? We actually don't have like the modal for this. Maybe it's just like a little slider where you like lock it for a different number of rounds.
You have the modal in the other place, right?
Yeah, but the modal in the other place is like has also choosing give from your wallet. This is kind of like if you just want to relock this give that's already staked. Is it possible to relock give that you haven't unstaked?
Oh wait. Yeah. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, it should be of course. I mean, at least having two transactions, one to stake and another to stake and lock it.
Okay. Yeah.
And simple, just for luck, if I have all the stake, I can lock it.
I will just add it in the contract that if you have something that is staked for 0 rounds, you can just with one transaction restake it for more rounds.
Yeah. Kind of funny.
What about? I didn't get the answer. If I have all the stake, can I lock it? You said, or no?
If you have stake, The thing is that if you have it in your wallet, there is a clear way in which you can lock it for some specific rounds. But because it's unlocked but staked, it is in the middle state, right? That we have to take care of as well.
And what about if I stake for 0 round? Is it the same, right?
Yeah, you can stake. You can restake things that you have for 0 rounds to 0 rounds. I think that.
So I can lock only on the stake step, right? On a step action. So I cannot lock when I have already stake. So I should unstake and then stake lock it. Am I right?
I think that's what he said.
Completely following.
If I have something at stake, I cannot lock it. I should unstake and then stake some lock, right?
Yeah, that's something that the Figma is not clear here, and also makes it from the smart contract. We will have to have this function in which you have something at stake and you want to lock it for more rounds. In the smart contract, it will be quite clear how to do that. in the front end, it looks like it's why should you lock the unlock tokens in here but not have a button in which you can unlock more GIF that's somewhere else? Do you
Yeah.
follow me?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, I'm not sure. So, like, because we could make it the option here where it's like the user can relock their give that was already staked. But then it's like, what if they have extra give in their wallet? And then we're calling, like, we're making them unstake and then restake and relock. We should also, like, allow them to stake extra give from their wallet. But I don't know. Can we combine their staked give that's unlocked with their give in their wallet? Which doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that it's. I don't know, 1000 GIF in your wallet that you want to lock for many rounds. But you want, because you think, okay, I already have GIF that I can withdraw at any point. The GIF that you have staked, you have it staked. It's not in your wallet. It's there for some reason.
Yeah.
So combining the two and tricking the user to lock it for a longer time, it's not tricking, but at the same time it can confuse people.
Yeah.
Maybe two buttons. Lock staked GIF, lock unstaked GIF.
Oh no, that sounds so confusing. I don't know. Mo, are you following this? I know you're in the call. Have you been following this?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So wait, sorry, what do you think?
It's possible, but I don't know. Right now, I don't know.
What do you think, Griff?
What?
So if the user has unlocked give that's staked, should they be able to relock their give from their managing tokens thing? It's like unlock give, they could like relock their give, but then we might need to have two transactions, one that unstakes and then like restakes, and then it's like, do we send them somewhere where they're also interacting with give from their wallet because it's going to unstake and restake and lock, and then they can add more into it, and it just gets complicated? Or is there like just no option to relock their give?
No option for now.
No.
It's just always keep things simple. What's the simplest thing for the user? Like they're gonna look at these buttons and be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Let's just,
yes, exactly.
Let's just.
It's happening on models. It's not easy to just show different models, confirm transaction, and stuff like that.
I mean, we can always improve it on the next round. We can figure out a better solution as we evolve. But for now, less options.
I agree.
So we just remove the button. There's no option.
Remove the whole total.
No, I will put the unlock GIF.
Unstake, you mean?
Yeah, unstake.
Unstake give. Yeah, right here, but in this modal, I'm not sure that makes sense. Like it could be, yeah. Because they can unstake over like on the farm card. And they can only unstake these give tokens.
Yeah.
And if we, yeah, I agree. Yeah, when we have the unstake there, it doesn't make sense to show it here. But also, If we don't have the on-state thing, maybe we don't need to show the whole total unlocked token because it's unlocked and you can't do anything about that.
Yeah. Maybe we could like redesign this modal a little bit so it's like unlocked tokens are just like another line in the table, like at the top or something. Okay, well, we only have 1 minute left until the community call. I think we need to kind of like hash through this a little bit more because I don't think that we're quite ready. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Sherrick, do you guys feel like you have something to start with? I think we need to rework this table, at least like in the design, and like work on it a little bit with like Sam and Mo to fix that. But like maybe you could get started on the farm card and like the staking modal and like this whole round thing.
Yeah, I think we can start something. Yeah. For example, some UIs are ready.
Don't start this part.
We don't implement the logics, just the UI. And I think it's can complete when the graph is completed and we can connect there.
Yeah, just for my information, sorry, you assigned one issue to Metal. I think that was the overview of the, GIVpower. I included in that epic. Is it set to the finalist?
Yeah, so that overview page can be started. I think I tagged you and Matteo. I was like, I don't know who's the best person for this, so I was like, you guys figure it out. But yeah, that page is ready to go. It's all just like explanatory, like text and like design elements and stuff like that. So like that's mostly just like front end, make it look nice, make it look like the Figma, and that page is totally done, so that can be built.
Yeah, we have 3 issues ready. I get back to you to finalize. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just we don't have time. Say it short. If you add the event, Sam, and deploy something, we can even deploy a complete token distro and give input all of them. Just give me the instance, and I can work around the subgraph.
Okay, I will start with the hard hat tests and have a EVM script in order to install it on the garden. And once I have everything working, then we can do the test deployment.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
It should be deployed as part of the garden. So we should not just add like events, unlock events, and just deploy it somewhere to a
it is the same process that we followed with the Unipool. We have to remove the hook of the old Unipool and add this new one. Okay, guys.
Hey guys, thank you.
Okay.
See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.